Hello, everyone. I'm Sheldon Barlett Rumor, and this is it. Welcome back to This Is It TV. It is always a pleasure when I get to hang out with our next guest. I'd love for him to reintroduce himself, his first and last name, and all he is up to.
Sheldon, I'm Bezich, men's health advocate, contributing writer to phillyvoice.com, and of course, the author of Crack the Code, 10 proven secrets that motivate healthy behavior and inspire fulfillment in men over 50. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so good. I have to tell you, I look forward to this. I have pen in hand always. I'm like, okay, what is he going to teach me today? What am I going to think about critically today? And what can I implement? So I love chatting with you. What do you have for me this morning?
Well, as we were just talking, I'm a big student of motivation as a platform for adoption of healthy behaviors. If you don't have strong motivation and consistent motivation, you're going to fail. And so in my examination of different places where we find motivation, I came across something which is very intriguing. And really, while we wouldn't want to rely on it as the means or the platform to start healthy lifestyle, it does prove that with a sufficient jolt and a strong and powerful motivation, we can change our behaviors and adopt a healthy lifestyle. And that is something called post-traumatic growth, or PTG. And that's the science that says that we can, with a traumatic event, we can come out of it with a new psychological transformation, in effect, turning something negative into something positive. Right? 75% of us, the scientists tell us, will experience some type of traumatic event in their lives. Someone will die, will experience something. But what I find fascinating is that 50% of those will experience post-traumatic growth. In other words, they'll turn something negative into positive. And that means that they'll improve their interpersonal relationships. They'll experience stronger resiliency. They'll have a new outlook on life. And one of those positive benefits that science tells us is the ability to adopt healthy behaviors, more diet and exercise, and a consciousness about our health. So while we would never want to, use that as a primary strategy, I think it sends a message to all those out there who may be struggling to say, look, if things are strong enough, we can really change. And so we want to change again through other means and develop other strong, positive motivators in our lives. But it is, I think, a fascinating bit of science.
I do. I agree with you. I mean, we've all, the past 3 years of our lives have been quite difficult, and all of us have managed that, whatever it is that we've gone through, because no one has been immune to, the changes. Some suffered worse than others. Some have just, jobs, stress, needless to say, the trauma of death, and those that are really, really suffering. And to know that there might be a way on the other end of it, right? For you to be healthier as a result of it. And oftentimes we don't feel that in the valley of things, I like to call it, right? In the valley of things, you're like, why is this happening to me? Oh my goodness, I miss my loved ones so much. But there's strength from that. I think that there's some hope in what you're saying on the other side of all these hard times.
Yes, absolutely. When I did research for the book, I interviewed 1,000 healthy behaving men over 50 nationwide. And one of the recurring themes was that their adoption of healthy practices was spurred by some type of event in their lives. They had a father who died young of a heart attack, or a brother, or somebody in their life. And it really sort of kickstarted their healthy behavior. So it's not uncommon, as I say, and that's where the science takes us, but it's real. And again, we don't want to rely on that as a strategy, but it does prove that we have the capability of changing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think there's countless individuals where there's benchmarks in their life, or something happens. Maybe, there's been so many stories, especially during the pandemic, of individuals who have been laid off and then have made lifestyle changes, or, who have, suffered loss. And then the next thing you know, they're taking their life more seriously. They're valuing not only their time, but their mental health and their physical health, and really taking action based on that trauma. And, obviously, we're not encouraging all of us to be in traumatic situations, but there is a light, on the other end of it. I love this topic. I think that this is really important for us to touch on.
Absolutely. And again, the pandemic was a great example. The research shows that there was an uptick in healthy behaviors during the pandemic. In year 2, it sort of subsided a bit, but still there's a net increase. So again, if we can turn something negative into positive, there's an old saying that which doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And that's sort of what's in play here. And
Yeah.
again,
Wow.
I think it gives hope to a lot of folks out there who think that, this is just healthy behaviors and diet and exercise is just well beyond our means. And it
Right.
really isn't.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think there's, especially in the aging process, right? As your body begins to
Sure.
change, as your doctor gives you some advice, these are not necessarily trigger warnings, but these are actual, alerts to say, okay, maybe I need to make a difference. Maybe I need to make a change. Oftentimes when something happens to a loved one, right? You didn't know that your, genealogy was susceptible to that particular disease. And so
Mhm.
now you're looking at things a little bit differently. You're looking at, the way in which you were living your life. And though it's not a pleasant trigger,
Yeah.
it is giving you the motivation that you need in order to live better.
Absolutely. And again, some of the guys that I've spoken to and researched over the years will tell me that while it's maybe not be a traumatic trigger,
Yeah.
something like getting to the top of the stairs and being really winded,
Yeah.
or just putting on your pants in the morning and you can't, you
Yes.
can't buckle them or close
Yes.
them, sort of little versions, mini versions of certainly not a traumatic event by any means, but just
Right.
a little thought that says, maybe
Right.
I should take my health a little more seriously.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. So whether it's small and it triggers you in that way, or whether it's big and it triggers you in that way, again, we're not encouraging anybody out there to suffer in order to get well. But
Right.
if you are going through something, maybe this is the sign to be able to move your life in a better
Absolutely.
direction.
Absolutely.
I love this. This is wonderful. Oh, always so good. Again, pen in hand, ready to learn from you and ready to take action. If people want to get in touch with you, if they want to follow, fan, and like you, as I like to say, where do they find that information?
Look over my shoulder, 50plusmen.com. You can find all that's going on in my life and what's going on with the book and the articles and everything else and how to get in touch with me.
I love it. I love it. I promise you, if you get in touch with my friend, you will not be disappointed. From all of us here at This Is It TV, I'm Sheldon Barlett Rumor, and we will see you soon. Take care.